So, I'm back from Limpopo, sitting right in front of you guys again with another daily show. Interesting that I'm sitting here and we're talking about one of the interviews or two of the interviews that I had on the weekend. I just want to give you guys a quick summary while I wait for Aditya to join us. But ultimately, I went to the KFC mini cricket seminar, which meant that a lot of coaches from different unions were there, and they basically were on a course to try and improve and try and prove themselves and give their advice and give their beliefs and what they've learned in the system. They had amazing talkers that were there available to us to give these guys some insight. There was an awesome event that happened, Night of the Stars, where we got to chill with all of these guys in a lot more of a, you could say, laid back way. So I got to see Graham and Victor just laid back and chat to them in an environment where it's not about cricket and it's not about just chatting to them about who's in the selection teams, etc. Got to sit with Bjorn Hendricks and get some insights from him too. Obviously, those conversations are going to stay with me. I can't really share them with everybody else out there, but ultimately we got to know them a lot better in a different light, in a different way to see them, and also these coaches and hear what they have to say about cricket in South Africa. But we also got an excellent show from Dalen Oliver as well, who was the MC throughout the show, throughout the seminar, and as well we had Mr. Goliath, the main comic that everybody knows. I mean, he gave an excellent performance at this dinner. So overall, 3 days of 3 days of really insightful and inspiring experience for myself. But mainly, we got two important interviews. One from the convener of selectors, Victor Mpitsang, and one from Graham Smith. So myself and Aditya are going to be speaking about this on today's daily show. What I want you guys to do is I want you guys to let us know if you want to see more of these live shows. Put it in the comment section and let us know. If you want us to come on and do these live daily shows more often, we'll try our best to do so with a mix, of course, so that we can still do some uploads as well as live shows too. So we can obviously give you guys a bit of everything and we can please all of the fans that have supported us for so long. So let me know in the comment section below after we've published this video. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think and whether you guys want us to do more of this. Before we get going to today's video, I want you guys to please go and subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. That is our bread and butter, guys. That's what pays the bills, guys, when we're going to get sponsors, etc., and when we're going to get people to join us and allow us to make some money. The digital magazine is going to be the one that does that for us. So please go ahead and subscribe so we can get more subscribers, so we can put our magazine in front of more people, because that's what's going to really help us. The description, that's where you have to go. Click on the link in the description and join the family immediately. But also, YouTube helps a lot, and you guys are helping a lot as well. So subscribe to the channel, please. Click that notification bell for all future videos. It really helps when you do please set notification bell so you can know when everything is happening and when we are having shows. So please go ahead and do so right away. Also smash that like button and give us comments in the live chat. Let's get straight into today's video. Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid. This is my co-host, Aditya. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Aditya. Welcome to the show. Thank you for giving us your time. I hope you're going to have many years to come. And thank you for joining me on this amazing day.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
So, yeah, I mean, I hope you're enjoying your day so far. I'm hoping that this can be a golden ticket right at the end of the rainbow for your day. That this maybe of a nice day that you've had. But let's get into today's video. I'm very interested to hear what your take is. I've done the interview. I mean, I did I got it organized. I put it out there. I chatted to them off air, on air, got some content for the people so that they can hear what the director and Graham Smith had to say. So you guys, if you want to go watch that video, it is on the channel in the exclusive section of the video. You can also in the exclusive section of the YouTube channel. So go ahead and check that out. You will find it over there. But I want to get your take, Aditya, because there was a lot said. Graham spoke about selection and that he's maybe not involved with that. I have to speak to the convener of selectors for that, which I did, which I know that is maybe not 100% true. I feel that he does have a influence on selection, but I'm not going to accuse him. If that's what he's told me, that's what he's told me. And he gave some insights into obviously South African cricket and the domestic scene, etc. Victor was a little bit more straight with regards to his thoughts about selection and why he picked certain players and where he feels the team currently sits. He even went as far as thinking that he feels that he picked a team or selected a squad that can take us over the line. So first and foremost, give me your insights on the two interviews, starting with Graham, and then maybe you can move on to Victor.
Right. Well, both interviews were fantastic. So well done, bro. Outstanding job. Um, with Graham, I was most impressed with what he said about uh, the effect, the consequences of the KFC mini cricket program, and just the effect that it has on grassroots cricket in South Africa. But if you're talking specifically about the World Cup, what I really liked was that I think there was a fair degree of conviction, and they really believed in their squad. So whether or not the squad produces the results, um, they seem to have gone in with a process. My view is that Faf du Plessis and Imran Tahir feature in South Africa's best squad, uh, but you know only results can vindicate their selections. So yeah, but I think overall it was a great interview. There was a lot of insight, and um, now only the T20 World Cup will determine whether or not their process was right or not.
Yeah, so I'm lying. I'm laughing over here because I mean, I'm listening to what Aditya saying, and it's exactly what I was sitting there thinking when I was hearing the answers. And I wanted to go deeper, particularly with the Victor questions when I spoke about Faf du Plessis, and he dodged it completely twice. I asked it twice basically, and he basically dodged Faf du Plessis twice. So
Yeah,
um, it's one of those things where I feel I did tell him afterwards that that's the one thing that I was really heartbroken about, and I think many fans would be heartbroken about. So I did represent you guys. I did put the questions I had there. I did think about you guys as well. So when I was speaking to both of them, but I have to thank both of them to actually giving them time to do so because they didn't have to give me an interview. I was there to shoot content and get as much content about the seminar as possible. But what better to do than get two guys that are 100% front and center of the next generation of talent? Because it was so important for me to ask that question because mini cricket is the bottom tier of cricket in South Africa. It's the first interaction that people get with cricket. It's the first opportunity that play, people from the township, boys and girls from the township, as well as boys and girls in general, that maybe can't afford to go and get their father to buy them a bat and play in the yard, or maybe they can't afford the opportunity to be able to, or maybe don't have space to play cricket in the yard, or they don't, or the streets are not safe enough for them to play in the streets. That get an opportunity to do it in a safe environment. Because KFC mini cricket, I've been at a couple of festivals where it was amazing. There were 1,000 kids at one festival that I went to. Incredible, 1,000 kids playing cricket with Proteas players helping them out. So it was excellent from that part. But this is not a KFC mini cricket show. This is a show that we're talking about the World Cup and what the comments were. The one thing that I liked from the whole interview was the fact that Graham spoke about our batters specifically and saying how far they've come. That means that they identified a problem that we had, which we all knew, the whole country knew for years that we had an issue in that department. He also mentioned spin, the improvements that have happened against spin, which is another department within you we struggled against, and he mentioned it in his video. So he might not have gone in heavy detail, but him mentioning it makes a big difference for me, because that means that looked at our flaws and tried to fix it. Now, whether we get over the line or not and lift that trophy, anything can happen. The 2019 World Cup is a example of that, and it's proof of that, because when England came into that tournament, everybody put them as favorites. Everybody
Yeah.
said they were favorites. And because they're playing in their hometown, in their home ground, I mean, not hometown, but their home country, they're obviously going to have the advantage. And they did make it all the way to the final. But New Zealand didn't lay back, and they put up a fight. And the fact that New Zealand took them to like a super over to win that game, it's a testament of that exact thing. It shows that you don't know what's going to happen, who's going to come in your way and try to stop you from lifting that trophy, because trophies aren't guaranteed. You can guarantee um, that your team, you can maybe guarantee that your team will be 100% prepared for anything that comes their way. But I don't feel you can guarantee lifting that trophy, because what happens on the day happens on the day. You don't know who's going to crumble, who's going to fold under pressure, or who's going to rise in that particular moment that you need. And moments are so important in T20 cricket. I think T20 cricket is a moments game. Let's look at some of the comment sections over here and see what people have to say, because it's a long time since we had some live comments. Khalid, what has both of them said about the likes of Faf Morris and Tahir and about getting ghosted? We did answer that already. Um, they Imran Tahir, they said, well, Victor particularly, Victor said that Chris Morris, that the DOC made it very clear that Chris Morris wasn't available. He also mentioned that Imran Tahir um, is a good player. He's not saying that he's not a good player, but currently our spinners are doing really well, and the balance is perfect, and the players are playing well enough, and they maybe the what I read into that is that he didn't want to really upset the apple cart, because they believe that Bray Shamsi is world class at the moment, and he's leading that team and should be the hub of that spin bowling attack. They dodged Faf's question twice, so he never really answered Faf's question when I did put a team. I should have maybe reminded him a third time, maybe just to really force it, but I didn't want to really peeve him off by asking him questions maybe that he doesn't want to answer. Happy birthday to you, Aditya, bro, from Dex, one of our loyal supporters. Also, about the squad selection, leaving Calvarain and Zubair Hamza out. I don't think Calvarain and Zubair Hamza early in the T20 setup were even in the mix. I never asked him about test selection. If you're talking about test selection, I just focused on the T20s. If I can get another interview with them down the line, I will ask them about test selection. But there was no way they could i- introduce Zubair Hamza in if he hasn't played any games for the Proteas in T20 cricket. Calvarena can maybe see you why you're leaning towards him, and I also like him a hell of a lot, and I think that he should be within every single team for South Africa. They obviously are sticking with Klassen. They believe that Klassen will probably be the guy that's going to take them forward in that number 6 role and as a backup keeper. Why I stick with Pretorius? Well, I personally think that Pretorius is a very good choice for South African cricket. I think that in that number 6 role as a batsman, he can add a lot of value, and he can bowl as well. With the extra bowling option of Aiden now that we have in the squad, I think Pretorius is even more important now, because he can give us that 1 or 2 overs that we need. He doesn't necessarily have to bowl 4 overs if you have all your bowlers fit and playing. So ultimately, Dwayne's main aspect is to add something with the bat so that we can play that extra all rounder and bat quite deep. That's the point of Pretorius, I feel. Linda and Yaneman, I did not ask them about Linda and Yaneman. Actually, in fact, I actually forgot to ask them about Linda and Yaneman. It slipped my mind, and and the reason it slipped my mind is because I only had a certain amount of time that I could interview them, so I had to keep it relatively short. Otherwise, I would have sat there with them for 30 minutes and had a long conversation with them. But unfortunately, I only had a certain amount of time because they had to go back into the seminar and continue the conversations that they were having over there. Um, I don't think inclusion of Tahir would be really fair for Shamsi. I think that's the general consensus, Aditya.
But Tahir and Shamsi could play in the same team. It's not that we're going for one over the other. You know, when we've had discussions about the makeup of the T20 11, we've generally said that Tahir and Shamsi bowling in tandem would be great for South Africa. So it's
Yeah.
not one over the other at all.
I think the concern is that when you pick in that spinner, that main spinner, that's your wicket taker, they they don't want to pick a second spinner because one of them have to be the second spinner then. You can't have both of them being your first spinner. So I think the problem there is the bat because every other spin option can bat. Bjorn Fortuin can offer something with the bat. He might not have shown it yet, but I feel that in a once-off game, he can really knock a quick 12 or 13 runs that can take us to the next just over the threshold. You know, you can maybe take us into the 200s when we under 200, or take us into the 80s if we under 80, 180, maybe even surpass that 160 mark that we always tend to hit quite well, and maybe surpass that with if he's playing. The same with the likes of George Linder that's on the bench, and the same with the likes of Keshav Maharaj. He can get there's a chance that he will probably get the baton ball and get a run, even, maybe even if it is lucky or whatever the case may be, but he'll at least get something on the ball. Whereas the Brazier and Tahir's batting has never been that way. They never looked comfortable at the crease ever. So I think that's maybe the reason that they're talking about.
The thing is, assuming that the concern is South Africa have a long tail with Tahir and Shamsi, they have a long tail without Tahir in there as well. You know, so it's not like with this World Cup coming in, South Africa are going to have 10 batting options. They're not. So you might as well pick your strongest bowling lineup and hope that your batsman can deliver on the day, because
Mm,
we don't know what the pitches are going to be like for the World Cup. You know, there's going to
yeah.
be a bit of wear and tear. But
Mm.
personally, I feel like Shamsi and Tahir can play in the same team, and they should.
I do believe so too. But then Asima will have to then definitely Asima will have to give way, either Andrich Nokia or one of them, if that was the case. Because I do think that we need the likes of either Keshav in that team. We need to bat bowl three spinners then, and then Aiden doesn't bowl at all. If that was the case, personally, that's what I think. But yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, I love Imran Tahir, and I think even if they didn't pick him as a spinner, maybe even have him in the squad as a consultant, as a player consultant, where if they did need to call upon him, they could have, but mainly he could have been in the squad and helped the players, because I mean, he's inside of the Abu Dhabi and they don't have a spinning coach. So, I mean, Imran Tahir would be the perfect person to do that, to give the beyond and give the likes of Kesh, and even Tabrei Shamsi has spoken glowingly about Imran Tahir's involvement with him and how he's helped the games. So, I mean, it would have been excellent for them to have him just in the setup. They could have made something happen for that, and I think Imran would have been happy to do so because he's already in Abu Dhabi, man. Um, so let's move on here. Liked the Graham mentioned that the SAA team is playing against India. So they're trying to get more SIA games, and that's so important to the development. The one thing that I do appreciate about Graham and things that he said so far when he's come out and spoken, especially at the beginning when he spoke in his first press conference, the SIA side was something that he really, really focused on. He always mentioned it, saying that when he was a player, the SIA setup was so strong, and it gave people a springboard to make it into the national side. It's very important that they revamp that.
Yes, definitely. We've talked about bench strength and the fact that the pipeline needs more game time. And Mark Bouch has often talked about the second tier of players needing that additional edge to be able to make it to international cricket. So I think there's no better way to do it. Given that India's India's ace system has worked really well under Rahul Dravid, and a lot of the players, the young players that are now succeeding for India, have come through a rigorous India A program. So I think a South African A program will only help Cricket South Africa in the next year or two. So delighted.
Mhm. Guys, so thanks a lot for tuning in. I really enjoyed seeing you again, Aditya. Happy birthday once again. And guys, go ahead and DM him and send him your wishes as well if you can. It will make him sleep well tonight, I feel. So thanks a lot for tuning in, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please smash the like button, subscribe, click the notification bell for all future videos. Please also subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. Don't forget to do that as well, because that's where you'll get all your updates on cricket in South Africa and what we are doing, guys, because there's some excellent content in there too. The link is in the description, so please go ahead and do that. Guys, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show. Looking forward to maybe doing some interviews. We're going to check if it's possible. Players might be flying back, etc. But if it's not tomorrow that we do it, then we'll try to do it for Friday. But thanks a lot for tuning in, and we'll see you guys again very, very soon. Take care.